Good morning.
What are the school games and where are they taking place?
Right, the School Games is a national programme sponsored by Sainsbury's that takes part across the whole of England, and it's divided into three sections. There's the level one, which is competitions which take place within a school itself, like house matches or inter-form matches. They should then lead to the schools producing school teams in certain sports, which are then played through level two qualifying events in a local region, leading to a finals at Cramlington Learning Village in June. In Northumberland, the county is split into 6 regions, and each region has a school games organiser, and each of those regions will produce a winning team in 12 different sports across 32 events, because there are different age groups, boys, girls, etc., ranging from year 1 right the way up to year 10, and we end up with a 2-day finals held at Cramlington Learning Village. Last year, 1,500 pupils took part in the level 3 finals, which is one of the biggest events in England.
How long have the games been running?
Games have been running now. This will be the 4th year that it's actually taking place. And hopefully the funding is in place for 1 more year beyond the general election, and then after the general election has taken place, we'll just have to wait and see what the new government decide to do.
So how do teams qualify for the games?
Teams qualify, rather like I said earlier, there's 6 games regions, so our region itself, we invite all our local schools within a specific age group relevant to the competition to come to a level 2 qualifying event. From that event, the winners go forward to represent the Blyth and Bedlington region at the summer finals, and all the other 5 regions across the county do the same. So there are always 6 finalists in each of the competitions.
Can disabled students take part in the games?
Yeah, running parallel with the school games, we run, rather like the Olympics, we run a para games in the county. So at the same time, disabled students are able to take part in any event which they feel is inclusive for them, that their disability allows them to take part in the normal structure, or if they aren't and the disabilities are quite severe, then we run a series of para sports, wheelchair basketball, bocce, we have special archery, fencing, cricket, athletics, and they have a specific event that runs parallel on day 1 of the competition. So it's rather like the Olympic Games and the Paralympics.
Brilliant. What are the aims of the school games?
The aims of the school games are to foster basically the Olympic spirits. I can give you the 6. Cut that.
Do you think it is important to promote lesser known sports?
Absolutely. And each year the school games introduces a new sport into the programme which has not taken place in previous years. So across our region last year, handball was introduced, which is a sport that isn't played in many schools, and at the games themselves we had taster sessions involving lacrosse, which again was another sport that isn't taking part in very many schools. This year, lacrosse and handball have stayed in, particularly with handball becoming competitive, and the new sport to introduce this year is goalball, which is an inclusive sport for people with sight impairment. So it's played with, everybody can play, but everybody wears a blindfold, and it's football on a pitch with a ball with a bell in it, basically. So it's allow everybody to take part.
How do schools get involved, and how many schools are involved?
Every school in the country is allowed free entry into every competition that the school games organisers run. So within my school games region, I've got 25 schools, and all 25 schools actually take part in at least one event throughout the year. So they get a free invite, and then it's entirely up to them whether they enter or don't enter.
How do you encourage children to participate in sports, and especially to continue sports outside of school?
Lots of reasons, lots of different ways really. We try to introduce different sports each year into any programmes that we run, particularly with the primary schools, because one of my roles, despite being the school games, as well as being the school games organiser, I actually run a school sports partnership. So we have 23 schools buy into my programme, and we provide high quality PE lessons for primary schools using qualified PE teachers, but we introduce lots of different sporting activities through breakfast, lunchtime clubs, after school clubs, around as many different sports as we can. So we try to introduce new things, particularly with things like different styles of dance, which are really popular. Try golf, which is a basic form of golf for primary schools. Ultimate frisbee. There's all sorts of different things we bring in, but one of the easiest ways, not the easiest ways, it's never easy, is to actually ask the young people what they want. If we go out, we consult with the primaries, we ask the children what they want. Same in the secondary schools, is there anything we can provide for you that your PE department isn't doing? Then we try to source the alternative, which hopefully will hook people who aren't participating into a new sport.
And do you plan to extend school games in the future if primary?
It all depends upon what will happen after May the 7th. Funding is guaranteed for the academic year 2015-2016, but beyond that, nobody really knows. I would say that in this region, something would continue, even if the government pull the funding, because there is such a strong group of people now working in sport in the background across the whole county, that I feel that this would be something that is established and it would remain. A sponsor would be found and we would keep it going somehow. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.